niewidoczna dla oka. Z Listerin zadbasz o jej 5 razy większą redukcję, bo samo szczotkowanie i nitkowanie to za mało. Higienę dopełni płyn. Postaw na Listerin.
Domestos wywraca do góry nogami świat walki z zarazkami. Nowy Domestos Power Foam zabija zarazki w najtrudniej dostępnych miejscach. Domestos, nie do zatrzymania.
A czy twój krem do protez to wytrzyma?
To jest wyrób medyczny. Używaj go zgodnie z instrukcją używania lub etykietą.
Krem do protez Protefix wytrzyma cały twój dzień.
Odkryj nowy zapach Axe Jungle Fresh. Wszystko staje się możliwe, kiedy pachniesz przyciągająco. Przyciągaj zapachem i odkryj efekt Axe.
We've got your data.
These sorts of experiments teach Matthew and other sleep experts a lot.
Your brain has a cleansing system. We knew that your body had one. It's called the lymphatic system. You've heard of that. We didn't think the brain had one, but it does. And it's called the glymphatic system, named after the glial cells that make it up. It was specifically during sleep and during deep sleep that this sort of, power cleanse for the brain began to unfold. Why is this relevant for Alzheimer's? Because two of the pieces of metabolic buildup of this detritus that was washed away by the glymphatic system during sleep were things called beta amyloid and tau protein, which are two of the culprits underlying Alzheimer's. There is a silver lining in all of this story of dementia and sleep, because maybe we can do something about it. You don't start to see the decline in your deep sleep that is associated with Alzheimer's risk.
See this on a scan. You can see depression.
Exactly. What we've been able to do is take that complexity and measure what we call the kind of superhighways, the primary connections involved in how we think, how we feel, and what gets disrupted. The presence of having depression does increase the risk for later life conditions, some dementias, other chronic diseases as well.
Data from 6,600 people's brains has been analysed to understand what looks healthy and how signs of depression can show up.
What you see here is 6 different major circuits of the brain, and they're engaged in functions like how we think, the one in red, how we feel positive emotion, the one in purple. So all 6 parts are important, and they give us a way to understand the different types of depressions. These scores are out of 1 to 10. So ideally somewhere around 5, 5.5 is the middle range, and that's the kind of healthy average. Depression, sadly, it affects people when they're very young, very often. The onset is late teens, early 20s. And so if you don't find a way to understand that and treat, ultimately prevent, you're going to have the chronic effect of that dysfunction and disruption in the brain across your life. Disruption in the brain across your life.
Music is a big big part of life here at Loma Linda, and there could be some brain gains. Recent studies suggest that learning a musical instrument or even singing throughout your life could benefit your brain health in later years. Playing the piano was seen to be particularly beneficial to memory and problem solving. It's not only about staying sharp, though. Healthy, happy aging is about the whole package. Mildred was a doctor. She even set up a hospital in Uganda and was working in healthcare in Loma Linda.
You're 103, aren't you?
Yes.
That's an incredible age. How old do you feel?
I'm getting like a worn-out Model T that's falling apart.
How would you describe your quality of life at this point?
Pretty useless. I would never recommend and say, okay, you pick being old as the way you're going to end your life. Forget it.
You've lived quite some life and you've had to go through a lot to reach this age. Do you recommend living into your hundreds or not?
I don't think I'd recommend anything about life and its length to anybody. Take it as it comes. I have tried to be happy, and I've managed pretty well.
Going from talking to Brian Johnson to someone who's 103 made this all seem very real. We need to look after not just our bodies, but our minds. It's just a matter of how important being able to quantify that is. It's certainly going to make a difference when it comes to research in the future, and the power of AI and big data is making a lot of that possible. It's just right now, there is no silver bullet.
The power of this computational biology and AI will be to help you understand yourself over time and what the things you do benefit you.
Technology's helping us understand and predict like never before. We know better than ever what we should be doing to look after ourselves. But perhaps Mildred should have the last word.
You absolutely need to be very careful with your diet, it's true. But I'm not down for any, you've got to do this and this and this and absolutely not touch this.
Do you think it's more important to live?
I think it's more important to live.
And there's more from the Click team at bbc.com/click.